my first thing is, are you a client, principal designer, principal contractor? Are you a duty holder? And let's get this straight now, because lots of people think this is just about HRBs, the work that's got to go to the building safety regulator. This is any building work that attracts a building regulation application has duty holders, okay, legally, and the duty holders are criminally liable for what they do. When Hackett looked at the industry, I think one of the things she felt was that all too often designers and contractors on completion just walked away from projects, and the client really didn't understand their building. They didn't know how to manage it safely and efficiently, and certainly they weren't given the information to be able to do it. And so one of the things she wanted to do was make sure that stopped happening, because clearly the most important part of a building's life is in occupation. And so everything that's going on in the design and the construction phases should be geared up to allow whoever's managing that building to understand the building and do it safely, manage that building safely, and be given a building that complies. The key thing is for all individuals in the industry now, because what you're really criminally liable for is your competence. And if you take on work that you're not competent to do, then you're criminally liable for it. But even if the client or the principal contractor is bringing designers on board, the principal designer's got to be satisfied that they're competent. Within building control, they say, you can be PD, you understand the building regulations, and we're competent in terms of understanding compliance in the building regulations. And actually, we have set up a service that we see as being a consultant to the principal designer, because what we're not competent to do is coordinate all of the design activity. We're not competent to liaise with the client and with the principal contractor on design matters. We're not competent to really pre-assess the competence of all the design team. That's not what. So principal designer is much bigger, although you have a responsibility in terms of making sure the design complies. It's much bigger role than that. They only look at the process, they don't look at the outcome. If it turns out one of those parties is incompetent, they'll go for them afterwards. Change control plan. Change is risk in this. If you've got a major change, you have to stop work on that element and wait probably 6 weeks. And if you haven't got a decision on 6 weeks, it's not deemed approved. The only thing the legislation says, you can only start when you get approval. So if they take 10 weeks, you're waiting 10 weeks. Everyone costs money. Every change costs money that you put in. I think for those products, those important products that go into a building around passive fire precautions need to be specified by product. I don't think they'll accept a kind of functional specification, gateway 2. And then you've got to look at, if you change the product in there, whether that change is a major change, because if there's a change in the fire performance, and you've got to look at how that works, and I'm going to leave that for the next one, that could be another stop work on that particular element, wet. This isn't just with high-risk buildings, this is anyone. Now, the clients and the duty holders during the construction phase, to get your completion certificate, have to make a statement that we're asking you for your completion certificate and the building complies. The biggest part of the golden thread's life is when the building's occupied. And the client, the building safety manager, has got to be able to manipulate change, add to it. They need to be putting in all the testing they've done, all the maintenance they've done, perhaps management training. Certainly if they've done any material changes on the building, they need to put that in too. If you fail in your duty, it's criminal. If you're an entity, the courts can give you an unlimited fine. If you happen to be an individual, you can get a custodial sentence too.